Okay, well, thanks to Lou for letting me know that my audio was not working. I hope that it's working now. And so let's. Uh, I, I'm going to try to do this back again, and really kind of talked from the perspective of the fact that the pandemic and everything around it, and this is what I talked about the last time, is going to go on longer than anybody really thought. And that's regardless of where your country is or what state you're in. The collective, body of people doing business in the world is probably going to be, first of all, a lot of people are not going to be at their previous place of employment. A lot of people are going to be working at home, and a lot of people are going to be schooling at home. And so what that means for people like us is that, we get the privilege of being able to teach these people. I mean, for many of us, you've been doing this for probably, I'd say 5 to 7. It really depends, but I'm guessing some of you all have been doing this for a little while, probably well over 5 years, some longer, some shorter, but that really does qualify you with the things that you've been doing every day to be able to show people things that they can really use in building an online business, or even taking their business and then moving it virtually. There's so many ways for you and I to help the people that are going to be really coming new to this, and really looking for guidance and people that we can trust. And the fact of the matter is, I answered this in a question tonight. There's really no way to do this without building an audience and a list. Now, I do know that there are people who build online businesses. They build a list and they do it kind of the other way around. They start by selling things on JVZoo Warrior Plus. They get JVs. They build their list that way. That certainly is a possibility. Long term, you still want to have, I believe, you would still want to have a list that's going to be loyal to you for you, right? And so the only way to do that, even if you want to be in the business opportunity, make money, JVZoo Warrior Plus online business space, is to have an audience and a list. And now is really the time to start building it, right? I think you should have a niche, and I think you should have a kind of a product line in the zoo and plus space. I think you should have both, right? In some cases, I know people who've got 3 of them, but regardless, even if you choose to just go through one angle, at some level, you can trust social media as long as it will give you, the benefits, right? But you can't count on it. You can't build your business on it. Excuse me. And you certainly can't depend on cash flow from it. I've seen a number of people that I know personally. You've seen them too. People who I would consider to be safe. They're not spamming anybody or scamming anybody, and they keep losing social media accounts, sometimes out of something totally out of their control, right? And so I just say that, do what you can, but always really come back to depending on your list. And, Laura and I were talking, I think long term, you even want to have, a snail mail list. Again, unheard of, for us who are, sort of these internet marketers. But I think that, internet being the way it is, you've heard it. You've got to have the list where you can get it and where you can actually build it. So that's one of the things I want to talk about kind of going forward. When we get done with this hackathon, I really want to go to the next step, which is really setting up a workshop for you to be able to make an offer for that, for that learning center once you get it built, getting the structure in place. Those of you who are connected to me personally, you've seen I've got a really crude setup, right? That where I'm doing my own local workshop, just a really basic site, blog talk radio show where I'm going to try to get listeners and drive them to the workshop. I know this takes time though. And so I don't think that this is something that you can just kind of build up and it's going to come overnight, because anything that comes overnight can go overnight. But anything that you build up over time based on, some really solid foundations that you kind of get organically, that's going to be harder to lose. And in fact, it's almost impossible to lose, if you're really giving it the kind of attention that, that you can. So I don't want to be long on these things, just kind of want to talk through some things. I got a question from someone that was talking about, well, how do I get traffic to my learning center once I get it? How do I get the people that are going to be the people that are going to eventually buy it? And there's no shortcut to that other than to have a list and an audience of people who trust you. So with that, I'm going to take off, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me here. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow.